And with Spotify Wrapped one year, it came back and it said, hey, your most listened to song was Champagne Problems with Taylor Swift. On this date in April, you listened to it 21 times in a row.
Where do you know?
It was like the day after I broke up with somebody.
Crashing out. Hey guys, welcome to our latest episode of Unhinged, where we speak about the good, the bad, the ugly of dating. I'm Alicia Quarles.
I'm Liza Mahacek. And I'm Savannah Rudisell.
And today we are talking the good, the bad, and the ugly of breakups. Okay, we're going to get to the good part of breakups because there are some good things, believe it or not. But let's talk breakup horror stories. And I think I can set this one off because I'm currently in it.
Alicia is suffering through it. She is.
I am. I'm dying on the inside. Okay. So Liza knows this. I've been dating this guy for a couple of months. Like, first guy I've liked it a long time.
Yeah.
Everything's going fantastic, wonderful. I've been ghosted
Yeah,
for the first time in my life.
Alicia, no.
I've been ghosted.
Yeah.
And there was no rhyme or reason. Like
seems to
everything. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. At our big age, I'm a little,
literally,
a little bit older than y'all. Like, we are grown, okay? This man has ghosted me. I don't understand it, girls.
Because now you've pretty much reached the 48-hour mark of no response.
I've reached, so yes. So basically it was like the response, we went on a great date last Saturday, fabulous. The response has been getting a little weird. I called him a couple times this week, hadn't heard back. So, I'm just straight up.
Yeah.
Sunday, I'm like, hey, what's going on with you? Are you okay? Because I'm reaching out and you don't seem to be reciprocating. It is silence.
Oh,
Radio silence.
Radio silence.
That, and you offered the perfect opportunity to say what's going on or lie.
Or
if you'd
lie,
rather.
whatever you want to do. So
Yeah.
the 24 hours go by. Liza's like, well, no, give him the 48 hours. I'm like, all right, cool. We've passed the 48-hour mark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could see if we weren't vibing, if there was some weird chemistry. He's the one that initiated conversations, being like, I just love that there's no BS with us. We're so straight up, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you have ghosted me, and I don't understand it. If you didn't want to date me, just say, hey, I'm not feeling it or whatever, and that's cool. But now it leaves you wondering, did I do something wrong?
Well, I think also the other thing is that regardless of whether or not somebody did something wrong, I think that ghosting is just poor dating etiquette.
Yes.
It is bad breakup etiquette because
Yes.
there is breakup etiquette, and it also, I think, is very subjective.
Yes.
It all depends on a lot of different circumstances.
Yeah.
But whenever, I think that ghosting, especially living now in this very virtual world and in this world that has so much online dating, ghosting is more and more and more popular. And I think it leaves everybody feeling a major lack of responsibility
Yes.
and accountability for anything. Because it's like, well,
Yes.
if anything goes bad, then I just will never respond to them again. And it's like,
Right.
I mean, people want to know, like, common courtesy of, like, hey, if Alicia, if he thought that this was going to be too much work now and he couldn't handle it,
Right.
you know,
say
you can
that.
say that. You can be like, hey,
Yeah.
listen, I think that we're on different pages of what we're wanting right
Yes.
now. So I appreciate the time that I spent with you. There is it's such an easy little format of what you can say. Hey, I appreciate our
Yes.
time. I really enjoyed getting to know you, but I don't think that this is going to work for me right now. I'm not sure if this is what I'm looking for. And people
Yes.
will appreciate that.
They will.
Takes courage.
It does, but this is like also it's like the gaslighting leading up to it. This is the man that's like, I'm a man. I would tell you how I felt. So I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'm dealing with like a grown man, not a baby boy.
You believed
I
him.
believed him, ladies. I made the cardinal mistake of believing this man, and I'm like, I'm too old for this. So have y'all ever been ghosted?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Okay.
Definitely before. It's interesting too when you say like the circumstances make a difference. Is there any chance of coming back from this? Is there anything that this guy could say to you?
If he honestly was like, hey,
Yeah.
you have kids, and I got freaked out. I don't know if I was ready for that. If he said, I hurt my arm and I was in the hospital, I couldn't type.
I was in the hospital.
He said,
That's the only reason.
my phone got thrown into a river and I didn't know your number. Like it would be, this would be hard to come back from. But I at least want to know, like, I'm trying to date. So if there's something that I should have done differently, give me some feedback, or just straight up say, hey, I liked you. It was cool, but it's just not what I'm looking for. I would appreciate that.
Okay.
So, yeah. There's a way. Okay, girls, what are your breakup stories?
Liza, you gonna take this one?
I had
definitely shared a couple.
This was my
Yeah.
first boyfriend. It was New Year's Eve, and I was a freshman in high school, and I had been told that this guy had been unfaithful to some degree, and I at the time didn't know how to break up with anybody, so I was like, score, this is great. I don't know how to break up with him, so this is a perfect out.
You don't want to be the bad guy. Now you didn't have
Well,
to.
I do exactly, and I was like, oh wow, what a win, yay,
A new part to play.
no, but I still to this day don't know if this was true or not. I really don't. But So I call him up. It's New Year's Eve. I call him up and I say, hey, so I was told that you did this, that, and the other. So since it's New Year's Eve, it's probably the prime time to do it. So, since you probably would do it tonight, you can just go ahead and do it anyway. So, which I said it in a very nice way.
I don't believe that.
Yeah,
I do
no,
not
I
believe
think the
it.
sauce
Like I
did.
said,
Goes,
yeah,
"Oh,
But honestly, at the time, I was like, I don't know how to do a breakup. It's supposed to be nice, like, and all this stuff. I don't know. I still was friends with this guy after that. Like, we were friends after that. But I was like, I felt so relieved afterwards. I hung that phone up. I was sitting also in a mall parking lot in St. Louis, Missouri.
Classic.
And I walked myself in and I was like, great, now I can go shopping with my mom and my sister. This is awesome. Freedom. But like, I mean, again, I was like 14, 15 years old.
That's a good first.
But it was a
empowering.
learning experience. I wrote out a script on my laptop and I read it off on the phone.
Yeah.
Good for
You put thought into it. You were honest.
Yes,
You stood up for
exactly.
yourself.
I still don't think I do it well. I don't know if it's
Savannah, you're
age.
savage. Your last breakup was a little savage.
Okay, I didn't mean to. So I think I'm trying to be better. You guys, every time I tell you these stories, I recognize where I am the problem.
We appreciate it because you're honest.
No, exactly. And I think honesty is one of the main things that can help somebody move along in a
1000%.
breakup. Because if you say to them, there's like no chance that this is ever going to come back and be a thing, then
Right.
that will make them move on quicker.
Yeah,
Facts.
I think so. Because I've had
You told
criticism.
him.
I get a lot of feedback on my breakups, which I don't know if
from the
anybody-
person that you're
from
breaking
the
up
person I'm breaking up with.
Okay.
That tends to happen. Like sometimes I hear like, "Oh, you were too vague. I didn't understand what was wrong. Like I got the idea you wanted to break up with me. I didn't know why."
You're leaving conversations for like when I'm done with somebody, we're just broken up. You don't call me for any feedback. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I'll still answer the call, especially if I broke up with them and I'm feeling bad about it, because I'm always feeling bad about it. Even if I was honest, I was upfront, I said it exactly like when I felt it, so there was no stringing along, and it was said with compassion and kindness, somehow I still feel guilty.
Okay, well that's because you're human and you
It's like
care.
seeing somebody else sad.
Well, do you guys think that it's worse to be the dumper or the dumpy? Do you think it's worse to get broken up with or to be the one who did the breaking
I think
up?
it's worse to get broken up with.
Okay.
Because usually if you've gotten broken up with, a lot of times you feel like, oh my God, should I have done something differently? Is there something I could have done to save it? You might be more like with the person. And then you've got to go through that mourning period. So I think sometimes when you're the dumper, you feel empowered. You're like, I'm done with this relationship.
I think it also depends on the nature of the breakup and the relationship, because I think when you break up over, just circumstances where you're like, I just think we're not a good match. I don't think that you did anything wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong. It's just a matter of circumstances.
Right.
I think it is really, really hard to be the person who is ending something where you guys both still love each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
And
worst.
Well, that's a
it
life
is such
lesson,
a
yeah.
hard thing, but it also it goes to show that love is not enough. Just love is not enough to sustain a relationship. There needs to be other things that
It has to be
will keep you
timing.
together.
Timing is everything in life. Like you can love somebody, but if the timing's off, it's not going to work.
1,000%.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break right now. But coming back, we're going to talk about the good side of breakups because there are actually some good things. Stick with us.
Welcome back into Unhinged. We are talking breakups, both the heartbreaking side of things, but as well as opportunities for growth that can come out of there. If you do it right, you can really make the most out of a breakup.
That's true. You can learn a lot about yourself. I think in my most recent breakup, which was the most significant breakup that I've had, I learned so much about myself. I think that when you are, it's kind of this idea of, I'm trying to remember what it's specifically called, but it's Asian pottery or something like that, where essentially if a vase gets crushed and it breaks into multiple pieces, then they use this kind of like gold sediment to put it back together, and then people are like, oh, it's even more beautiful after it's been broken.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen those
Yeah.
pictures. I can't
Yes.
recall the name right now, but yeah.
But it's kind of this concept of when you have learned experience, when you have more wisdom, and when you go through pain, not only are you able to have more compassion for other people who are going through experiences like this, but you also get to know yourself better. You also get to know how to handle hard situations like that in ways that you wouldn't have been able to before.
But I think you did something clutch after a big breakup. You sat with yourself and you gave yourself time. I think a lot of times I used to be like a serial relationshipper. So I'd leave one relationship, go to the next. That's just like how I'm built. But this last time, I'm like, I'm just going to be by myself. And I've been by myself for like 3 years. And it's the best thing ever. If you can sit with yourself and get to really know yourself and love yourself, I'm like, yeah, I was gusted, but it'll be all right. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like old me would have been like, oh my God, this is devastating. But when you really like sit with yourself and know yourself, that's the best part of a breakup because you can grow.
I absolutely agree. I think there's something so peaceful
Mhm.
about just being with yourself for a little while. And a lot of the best parts about being single can come across as like stereotypical, or you hear it over and over again to where it's easy to dismiss as like, that's just what single people say because she feels sorry that she's alone with her cats. Do you understand how comfortable I am?
Girl,
Reading a book at home.
there's nothing better to coming home and having peace. You're not like arguing with anybody. You're not annoyed with anybody. You get to be at peace.
Anybody else's timeline or calendar, or just not taking anyone else's feelings into consideration, because that's part of the reason why relationships are so difficult. You should be constantly thinking about how your actions impact someone else's.
Or spending time with your girls. If you guys want to go to a concert, you want to go out for drinks, you could
Yes.
just do that without anybody stressing you out.
Exactly. Now, so there is this book that I read. It's called How to Not Die Alone. I read it for.
Oh, yeah, you love this book.
Yes, it's great. But I read it for research because, we talk about so many topics like this on this show. And I think that it's great for anybody, whether you're single, whether you are dating, whether you're going through a breakup. But one of the things that is like a big note in there is that when you are dating with, like, if you're facing rejection, even if it's just like 4 or 5 dates in or something. And I think that so many people are always like, I don't want to be alone. I want to be
Right.
dating. But when you face rejection, it's not personal. It's just a mismatch.
Right.
It's not that there's something wrong with you. And I think that that is also something that's mentioned in this book is kind of that breakup etiquette where you're going into something. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this because she said something where she was like, you shouldn't say that there's one specific thing that's wrong when you are going into a breakup, because I think that that seems vague. But she says that for a lot of people, then they ruminate on that. And when you're going through a breakup, they're like, oh, well, if I had just fixed this, if I had just done that. But she says that you have to have a conversation with people like weeks in advance so that they have an opportunity to fix it. And then when you break up with them, then you don't say it's for anything necessarily. And so what do you guys think is the best way to go about a breakup so that it's fair to both parties?
Well, I think if there's something tangible you can fix, like, for example, if I feel like you're lazy around the house, I will be very specific. Like, hey, I really need you to do those dishes more. I need you to help me out more, and be specific, not just general. Help me out and give you an opportunity to fix that. But if it's just not working, I'm a strong believer in not being miserable. And I'm also a strong believer in, I think I'm going to have many loves in my life. I've had many loves, and I think my parents were married for 50 years. I don't know if I'll be, I think I could have, I fall in love every other week. That's just like how I'm built.
Yeah.
But I also think when you break up with somebody, I don't look at it as like, oh my God, it's such a loss. I always look at, what did I gain from this? You probably, like with my kid's father, I'm going to have these 2 beautiful babies. He might have sucked, but the kids are amazing. He's a great dad. So you got to like take away the good things from relationships.
As to whether it's better to give that heads up or not, to me, that gave me immediate anxiety. Thinking about having to have not one, but 2 conversations.
So fair.
Because especially when it comes to a hard conversation like a breakup, I want to know what I'm going to say. Not as in scripting it out, but come into that conversation with a point that I want to make, how I want to leave the conversation feeling, how I want the other person to leave the conversation
Bullet
feeling.
points in your mind.
Exactly. So the thought of having to do that multiple times is tough. And so
I think it depends if you want to save the relationship. If you're like, I'm done, then you're not going to go in 6 weeks ahead of time and say, hey, Tommy, fix this. You're done. You're done.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's kind of difficult because they'll be like, well, why didn't you say anything in the moment?
Right.
Well, maybe in the moment, I am still thinking of saving the relationship, saving the peace almost kind of thing, if that makes sense. So saving the peace in the moment comes at the cost of saving the relationship sometimes. Other times, I think it's good to not react to big things that you might want to say, to fix it and hold on to it. But I don't know, it's very circumstantial, but
It's hard.
personal too. So for me, I'm kind of one conversation, I'm coming in with my mind made up. But I know that's really hard for some people.
That's true. But also, I mean, in terms of, the positive side of breakups as well, is that I think that you learn a lot from a partner. You learn a lot from who you date. And my mom always said, she was like, when it comes to dating, it's all about learning what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that you can take away from a relationship, even if it's a lot of things that you didn't like. There's also still there's reasons why you were with that person.
Exactly.
So I think writing that down, remembering the things that you liked, remember the things that you don't. But in terms of, how to thrive after a breakup, I feel like finding things that you like yourself, especially things that you were like, oh, well, they didn't like doing this, so I stopped doing this. And now let me add it back into my routine, because I saw this thing and on TikTok where this girl was like, oh, yeah, like I thought that I was just really into hobbies, but then I realized that I was just single. And I was like, oh, okay. I just got called out there because I was like, oh my gosh, my life is so full. I have so many fun things that I love doing. And this is still true. But then I was like, oh, well, it is likely because I'm single, because you aren't able to do quite as much when you are in a relationship, you know, especially when you're in those earlier stages.
But I also feel like that can really go too far, because so the other weekend I was hit with a targeted ad for a meditative sound bath retreat / silent disco for like 3
Silent
days.
disco.
Yeah.
A silent disco.
And I looked at that and I was like, wow, what an experience.
No.
And then I had to sit down and go, I think I might be.
That's too single. But I will say this: time heals all things. So I'm like friends with every single one of my exes, because as long as there's no like real infidelity, if you give it enough time, you're gonna be cool with them, because you're gonna realize I dated you for a reason, like the good reasons.
But every one of them?
Every single one of my exes, I'm cool with.
Really?
Yep, every single one of them.
How did you get
Do
to
you
that?
like, do you
place?
talk to them?
They all try to get back with me, but here's the thing: after I shut that down, we don't spin the block. Yeah, we like check in, we talk, like we're just like we're still cool. We're in each other's lives, and so
But I think that that's kind of what, like, I think in theory, that's what people want. I think for the next person that they're dating, that is probably hard.
It might be hard. It might be hard.
But I think that also what you want is like, you're like, you were such a big part of my life. I don't want you to not, like, I don't want to not be able to tell you when something comes up and I think of you and I'm like, oh my gosh, I talked to this person. You would love this. Like,
if they're in a healthy space, you can do that. If they're not, then
they're
give
not,
it some more
then
time.
you can't.
Yeah, right.
Alicia, I have more questions. I want you to get to those here on the other side of this quick break that we sneak in. And then Alicia's going to tell us how she does this witchcraft. Hey, welcome back into Unhinged. Alicia just told us that she is friends somehow with all of her exes. That initial conversation, you said that sometimes they're, a lot of times, hey, trying to get back with you. How do you get over that initial hump of setting the expectations for what your relationship looks like now as friends?
I think that I'm super direct, as Liza knows. I'm a very direct person, and I lead with love, meaning like if you are calling me to check in on me, I'm not going to be like, we broke up because blah, blah, blah. I've let enough time heal that I'm past all that. Like I'm really genuinely, not with rose-colored glasses, but I'm thinking I was with you for a reason. What were those good things? And that's really what I lean in and focus on. Are these people calling me every day? No. But are they checking in on me? Yeah. And if I see something funny, I'll check in on them. But I think it's just leading with compassion, but also be very clear about your expectations. Like we're not getting back together, but I care about you. I once cared about you. I always will. So that's kind of
So as Swift said, we are never getting back together.
Ever.
Speaking of which, what were your breakup songs, breakup albums? What was like your go-to in recent years?
Yes. Okay.
Do you have a go-to?
I was just thinking, I was like, both recent years and not so recent years, Taylor Swift has been with me through a lot of it, and I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Say it, girl.
Just, like, again, just look at the lyricism, look at the poetry in there, and tell me you don't find something comforting. Okay, so what was pretty bad was in my Spotify Wrapped one year, it came back and it said, hey, your most listened to song was Champagne Problems with Taylor Swift. On this date in April, you listened to it 21 times in a row. Girl, you know, it was like the day after I broke up with somebody.
Crashing out.
That is so.
That's funny.
It was a Champagne Problem.
Red to filth.
You were
down. Yeah, you were down bad.
Red to filth.
21 times.
Yeah.
Mine was my ringtone for years until the father of my kids was like, can you please stop this ringtone? Album, Thank You Next, Ariana Grande.
I was going to say, this was recent. She had it as her ringtone in the past year.
You're still saying
in the past
year.
Is your ringtone for 6 years.
Did you also record it off the radio and go, shh, I need a new ringtone?
My kids were singing it, and he's like, this is a problem. Leave it alone. I'm like, well, you caused this. You caused Thank You Next. So, yes, Ariana Grande, Thank You Next. I'm so grateful for my ex. See, be grateful for your ex.
It's true. Stay grateful.
Smile check.
I had a couple like specific songs. I listened to Vienna by Billy Joel.
Yeah, that's a good song, though.
Yeah. And then also, this is so funny. The Winner Is from the Little Miss Sunshine soundtrack. That's when I was really down bad. Really down bad. It's literally like a piano track. Like,
Okay, all right.
It's a composition.
Were you making up your own lyrics?
No. It's you just listen. You just listen and you kind of cry a little bit. But Young Hearts Run Free by Candy Satan.
That's a great song.
Really good. And then Strange by Celeste. Which, you know what, if you hear it, you'll know the song that I'm talking about.
Okay.
But what advice do you guys have for people when they're going through a breakup that you always tell people that you've learned from your experiences?
Along these, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, you go.
Along the same lines as music is so helpful for me, and so just feels like you're able to clarify a lot with both singing along to it, listening to it, thinking about it, or especially dancing to it. I got some really good advice from Sheena Shea from Vanderpump Rules for Cameo, where it's like if you're just down bad and you get up and you move your body, right? Whether that is dancing and going out or going for a run or getting on a roller coaster or a boat or whatever it is where you go fast. Like just think about getting up and physically moving
Having
your
movement.
body
Yeah.
does something to your brain chemicals, and that's great. But the layman's version of that is, sad can't catch it if you're moving too fast.
That's the truth.
Okay.
Depression can't catch a moving target.
And I guess mine is the opposite. Feel your feelings. Because if you don't feel them, they're going to explode in some other way, like eventually. So you need to sit with your feelings. That doesn't mean let them overtake you, okay? I have the Beyonce rule. You can feel what you feel for 48 hours. You can let it overtake you for 48 hours, then you got to get up and keep it moving. But you have to feel your feelings.
I think also there is the the equation of if you dated for 5 years, it's going to take you 2.5 years to fully get over that. So you need to give yourself a decent amount of time to move through it, because I think that people think that you can get over it in 3 weeks. Like I was talking with one of my friends, and he was saying to me, he was like, it's been however many weeks, and I'm still upset about this. I'm still thinking about it. And I'm like, of course you are. Like, this is going to take you a while. But I think that journaling, I think that's one of the biggest things. Talking to someone else about it, calling somebody up and talking about it, and acknowledging the fact that you do have these feelings. If you sit there and you try and push them away, then they will just come up later.
Yeah.
It's not that they're going to go away. It's simply that you are just prolonging the process of having to deal with them. And then also the other thing is I think you have to immediately, I would recommend deleting Instagram and social media for a while, at least a month. I don't check their Instagram for at least a month. Yeah. Do not look at any photos of them. Like when you have these senses where if you see them, if you smell something that smells like them, if you hear their voice, it is something in your brain chemistry. It triggers this idea of this person. And it's not to say that out of sight, out of mind. But when you are seeing this, it makes that hurt all the more palpable. Yeah, exactly. So I think you need to remove yourself and remove that person from your line of sight. Like, do not go and check their Instagram.
Yeah.
Do you guys delete photos that you have with them in your phone?
I don't.
Breakup?
Because I'm going to be friends with them. So it's like, why am I messing with you?
What am I going to post on the birthday?
Exactly. How am I going to get this birthday shit?
Come on.
I put them in the hidden folder so that I don't see them when I'm scrolling through my camera roll.
There you go.
And then once you're ready to deal with that, then you can unhide them if you want to. But yeah, that's kind of what I do, because I'm like, I don't want to delete it because I don't want to erase that part of my life, because it was still a really important and integral part of my life, and it shaped me into who I am.
What about photos you've posted?
Oh, those are good questions.
But
those?
Oh yeah, I'm petty. I archive those. You don't need to be on my main grid anymore.
Wait, is that petty though? I don't know if that's petty.
Well, I think it's
I
petty.
used to think it was. Really? I never did it in high school. And now, I think it depends on the intensity and the severity of your relationship. Because if you broke up and it was in a civil way, or if it was a more kind of minute relationship in your life, if you're scrolling on your Instagram profile every time and you see their face, that is why I could not do that, because every single time that you look at yourself, their face is there too.
Yeah, just do it. Like, you're not my man anymore. You don't get to be on my main grid. Bye.
I see it both ways. Yeah, definitely. Because it's you lost your spot.
Yeah, it's true.
Another thing is social media, and it also depends on how you view your own social media.
Right.
If some people want to say, look, this is a documentary of my life, then that was part of it.
Yeah.
And other people say, well, my page is curated to the person I am now.
Yeah. Yep.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, girls. It's been another wonderful episode of Unhinged. Make sure you join us next week for another fabulous insight into dating.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.